This is a very interesting question, isn't it? Why is it so easy to be negative in life? Why is it so easy? Doesn't it seem like effortless to be negative, and yet we have to, many times, maybe not all the time, but many times we have to work so hard to be positive. We have to work so hard to keep our mindset powerful. We have to work so hard to be assertive, aggressive at our goals. But why is it so easy to fall into negativity, to fall into gossip, to fall into drinking too much or eating too much, or which are all negative habits related from negative thinking or not thinking at all? Probably. Hey, David Essel here. Oh my God, I know that this is such a challenge, and it's not all because of the pandemic, but of course, being isolated for the last 2 years, you're going to bring out a lot of issues with so many of us when we're not used to having our freedoms taken away when it comes to socialization, etc. Maybe we've lost our job, maybe we've lost our home. I mean, there's so many things that have happened in the last couple of years. Maybe you've lost a loved one. As most of you know, I lost my mom 7 months ago. It's very easy to be negative. I'm going to be doing a funeral this coming Sunday as a funeral, as a minister, a celebration of life now that we're calling them. And it's going to be incredible. It happens to be a couple that I married 10 years ago. And I'm telling you the story for a reason. The wife passed away, and the husband is someone I've known for a long time. And he contacted me when she passed away and said, "Would you please be the minister for the service?" Absolutely, 100%. But I tell you the story because he is still so in love with her. He is saddened. He's going through the grieving process, but there's no negativity at all. And so you look at someone like that could be screaming at God, "How could you take my wife away?" Screaming at God, screaming at whoever you believe in, yet there's none of that coming out of him. So let's go back to, why is it so easy to be negative? Why is it so easy? And I'm going to give you just a little bit of physiology here. The brain is broken up into many different parts, and one of the main portions of the brain is the amygdala. The amygdala is formed, and that's where the fight, flight, or freeze syndrome or decision comes from, right? So in the beginning of time, when we were cavemen, that amygdala was always on fire, right? You didn't know if there was a saber-toothed tiger, a monster, a snake, your next door caveman coming over to take your wife, whatever it might be. Rustles in the bushes could have meant anything, right? So they were always on edge. And that amygdala was constantly fight, flight, or freeze. Well, even though we've developed, of course, different portions of the brain, and we've accessed different abilities with our mental thoughts and everything else since the caveman times, of course, that portion of the brain is still there. So if you're not observant of what you're watching, listening to, talking about, gossiping about, the brain is going to slowly march its way to negativity. Then when you add in isolation and maybe financial challenges and relationship challenges with the pandemic, maybe health challenges or losing a loved one, well, of course, it's going to want to shift to the negative, and we turn into that victim mindset, right? Where this shouldn't be happening to me. I shouldn't have lost him or her. I shouldn't have lost my job. I shouldn't have. And then we start really focusing on the negative. So there's a little bit of everything involved here of why it's so easy to go negative. Of course, there's number one, the amygdala, one of the most powerful portions of the brain that can drag us there if we're not conscious. There's all of the insanity going on in the world. But I want to now go into solution. Okay, how do we change our reaction from one of this isn't fair and this isn't right and the world sucks and our presidents, no matter who you like and who you hate, and we can go on and on and on, right? The vaccine is a waste of time. Without the vaccine, you're an idiot. I mean, oh my God, we can be so negative in a heartbeat. So how do we shift it? Number one, who do you hang out with? And what are they sharing with you? If you want to write this down, I would write this down. If you're hanging out with people that are constantly talking about conspiracy theories, constantly talking about the news, constantly giving your opinion or their opinion about everything, you've got to really shut that down. You don't have to let go of them, but you can say, "Hey, listen, the next time we get together, I'd really like to not talk politics, not talk the recent craziness on the news, not talk vaccine, not talk pandemic. I just really want to be away from that." See, if you start to level up and ask people to raise their game as well, you'll find some people will just fade away and walk away because you're no fun anymore. You're not arguing, you're not with them in the pandemic conspiracy theories or whatever it might be, right? So number one is, who do you hang out with? Number two is, what do you watch? read and listen to. Write this down. I'm serious. Do some writing. What do you watch, read, and listen to? That has everything to do with a negative and or a positive mindset. When you move the naysayers, the gossipers, and the negative people out of the way, and then you look at yourself, right, and you move those things that you read too much about, you're watching too much social media, unless it's David Essel's videos, all of these kind of things, right? Like you start to move that stuff away, and you start to really pay attention to what you read, what you watch, what you listen to. You know, every day I spend 30 minutes reading some type of a spiritual book. You know, right now I'm reading Where There Is Light by Yogananda. And Yogananda is this amazing saint from India who's written an incredible amount of books. But, you know, I use that. I use his ways of thinking as a way to center my mind. And then, of course, exercise, right? But what are you reading every day? Get away from news. Get away from all that stuff. And where are you putting your attention? Where are you putting your energy? What are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Are you listening to podcasts that are riling you up? Are you watching TV shows that get you agitated? Well, see, all of those things we just got to get rid of. Exercise, of course, is crucial. But if you just do these things, if you move out the negative people or diminish the amount of time you spend with them, if you look at what you read, watch, and listen to, and make sure it's uplifting, and I'm not being Pollyanna here, I'm just being real, you have the opportunity to change your life forever. Pandemic or no pandemic, presidential chaos or no presidential chaos, you have the power to stay in a mindset that is uplifting, inspirational as a leader in this world. I want you to go there. If you're active military or a veteran and you're struggling with this as well, you're struggling with the negativity of where you are in life, which I totally get, or your family members, join us. We have this incredibly inexpensive program, helpveteransheal.org. I'll post it below. You can go and read all of the cool things we're doing for veterans and military, okay? If you're a first responder and you're challenged as well, Mia, love it. You got to watch that guy you're hanging with. Thank you for being a part of this program. So, you know, if you're a first responder and you're saying, hey, I need some help with this stress and I'm turning very negative within my family or my coworkers or my supervisor or whatever it might be, join our new program there, helpingfirstrespondersheal.org. 2 brand new programs right now, perfect if you're struggling with attitude, right? And if you're an everyday person like me, go ahead and reach out to me at talkdavid.com. We can work one-on-one together from anywhere in the world to help you make shifts and changes in who you hang out with, what you watch, what you listen to, what you read, what you discuss. Let's make some changes. Let's take back control of our own mindset. You can do it, and I can too. If I can help you, join. I'll put all the links below, okay? Have a beautiful day.